Yes. Now, speaking about this particular paper, it is MBAS 557 Service Marketing. This is one of your specialization chapter. Specialization subject, as you all know. Now, to speak about this particular subject, now there are 8 chapters in this, and here we are concentrating especially on the services. Now, keeping aside the goods, or when we tell product, we speak about both goods and services. But under service marketing, we are especially concentrating on the service market altogether, or the service that are being rendered by particular organization, or any other service we are concentrating here. Now, the question might be, why is that we are giving so much importance for services in this era of business than ever before? Now, if we observe, it is the service sector which is growing faster than any other sector. Now, when we tell about service, the bus you take from your home to college, right from there, the education that you get in the college, the hospital service that you take, the hotel services that you use, everything shall be included when we speak about services. So we can imagine how wide the scope of service are. And in this growing era of competition, now a company can only survive if it is able to provide a good service compared to others, and if the service provided by them is acceptable by the customers. And even though, you know, we tell that one of the main feature of service is the intangibility element, there are a lot of other things which can be attached to this particular thing to know whether it has a good value or not. That is to tell, um, you know, the services that is provided by a college is definitely intangible, but how well the campus services are, how well the infrastructure is there. Now, these are the some elements which we attach to the service and then decide whether we were able to get a good service or not. Now, speaking about your syllabus, the first chapter is Introduction to Service. Now, here we shall speak about what service is all about in detail. Definitely, you do know what it is, but a further wide range of aspects we shall cover here. And what is the contribution of service sector to the economy, we shall try to understand. And what are the different reasons that service sector is going or growing, so vastly and so faster, we can see. Then things such as characteristics of service marketing, different service marketing activities, categorizing the service process, the service marketing mix, the 7 P's of service marketing, and concept of service marketing triangle and the challenges in service industry. We shall see all of this in detail. Now the second chapter speaks about the consumer behavior when it comes to services. So, in marketing management, we had tried to understand how a consumer's behavior would affect the aspects of marketing. Here, we would be seeing all those aspects, keeping in mind especially the services. Chapter 3 speaks about managing a relationship, especially with the customer, and how do we segment market. Then the fourth chapter is service standards and maintaining service quality and also productivity. Now, here, what is important is we us understanding what is standards and the difference between quality and productivity, and how quality and productivity are linked to one another. Then chapter 5 speaks about designing and managing service process and planning the service environment. Okay, and in designing that, we shall also see if there are any kind of troubles from the side of the customer, or how a customer as a crow producer can help gaining more business to the company. All such related aspects we shall be seeing. Chapter 6 speaks about pricing of services. Now, pricing is one of the important aspects when it comes to selling. Now, pricing should be such that it should cover all the expenses for the company and help the company survive in the market. And not only these things, there are also things as competition. In the light of competition, how will be pricing the services, whether our intention is to give quality products and quality services and thereby gain market share, or is that we have to take up few strategies wherein first we can gain the market share, later on we can think about the price. Now this especially we have seen in the case of telecom services, and especially the geo market. If you see, first they try to gain the market share as much as possible with the strategy of giving free sim usage. Later on, once they were able to grab the market, then they started charging price for the product. So what is it, how to price these services shall be dealt in chapter 7. Now, sorry, chapter 6. Chapter 7 is all about customers role in service industry. Now, what is the importance of customer to the industry, and also how if customers don't exist, what happens to the customer, I mean what happens to this service industry. We shall look into all those aspects in chapter 7. Now chapter 8 speaks about role of marketing communication and physical evidence in services. Now as we said, communication is one of the important things for any of the business, and along with that we shall also be speaking with regarding the physical evidence. Now when it is service, we always have this characteristics of the service that it is intangible in nature. So taking that into consideration, how physical evidences is going to matter when it is services is a important question. So these are some of the topics in brief that I have said you would be dealing with this particular paper. Now, mm, yes, that is with the syllabus, and for the references they have given you some of the reference textbooks that you can go through. Now, having said that, find some of the ebooks if possible. If not, do let me know what textbooks that I have. I shall definitely be sharing with you all. Okay. So, uh, without wasting further time of yours, which is very precious, we shall start our chapter. Now, the chapter 1 is Introduction to Service. Here we shall be dealing with service in particular and in a very, very detailed manner. Now, the first question that arises is, what is a product? Now, we usually tell a product is, it can be a goods or a service. That is what we tell. The product is something that a seller sells to a customer. And as we always tell, it can be either a goods or a service. Now the next question is, have you ever used any kind of service? Now for this question, the answer definitely would be yes. From the moment we get up until sleep, there are hundreds and thousands of services that we use in our daily life. As soon as you get up in the morning, you start scrolling down through your social media. There you have taken the service of your telecommunication company, whichever companies that you use. Then you use the service rendered by your social medias, and right from there, you people using the services begins. You go to your university, you have your education, that is a service. For in taking, in pursuing your education, you use the books. Now that is a kind of service that you use. So, in brief, if I have to tell, from the time we get up in the morning until we sleep, there are hundreds and thousands of the service that we use in our daily life. Now, the best example is you all read books. So, definitely, you are one of an experienced service consumer. Now, we come across array of services every day. No, like like talking on the phone, using a credit card, riding a bus, or downloading a music, using the internet, withdrawing money from ATMs. So there are so many routines that we hardly notice them unless something goes wrong. Now other purchases may involve more thought and be more memorable. For example, like booking maybe a cruise vacation, or getting a financial advice, or having a medical examination. But if you closely observe, more, thrice or four times more than we tend to purchase a product, we use the services. Now, as I said, you people enrolling yourself in the college is also one of the that biggest service purchase that you might have made until today. Now, if we observe our own university, this typical university is a more complex service organization that normally offers not only educational service but also, if you closely look into, there is library facilities that you get student accommodation, you have health care there, you have athletic facilities, you have museum in the college, you have security, you have counseling, you have career service. So on campus, you may find a bookstore, a bank, a post office, a photocopying shop, or internet cafes, a grocery store, entertainment, and many more. So you can probably now get an idea of how much services that you use in a day. Now your use of these services are the best example of service consumption at the individual level. Now this individual level, we also tell it as what? We tell it as B2C level or business to customer level. Now organizations also use many business to business services or what we call as B2B services. Now all such B2B services usually involve purchase on a much larger scale than those which would be made by individuals or the household transactions. Now, I would like to tell yet once again, yes, textbooks I can give, but the notes you'll have to maintain. So, it would be better if you have a book, pen, and take it down. If I am very fast, please let me know. Please unmute yourself and tell me. I would go slow. If you need any repetition, once again, please do let me know. But unless you speak, I wouldn't know. So don't keep it for the last moment. If you have not understood something or if you need the repetition of the same, please do let me know. Okay. Now, having said so much about services, unfortunately, the consumers aren't always happy with the quality and the value of the service they receive. Normally, if we observe, we need not go and observe the customers. We can try understanding our own experience also. Having said that, both individual and corporate consumers they complain a lot of time about broken promises or the poor value for money or rude or incompetent personnel or inconvenient service hour or bureaucratic procedure of these services, the time that is being wasted in getting the services or malfunctioning of self-service technologies, the complications that would be there in the website or the lack of understanding of their own needs. So these are some of the barriers in the way of rendering a good service to the customer. Now, these suppliers of services who often face stiff competition, they appear to have a very different set of concerns. Now, many owners and managers they normally complain about how difficult it is to find skilled and motivated employees. Now, that is very much, there is complication, especially because with employees what happens is you cannot work The same way, how we can work with the machines. With employees, there is always their behavior which is attached to that. So, and also to be a effective employee, those set of employees really need to have skilled, skills which would make them do a good sales, or they should always be motivated. So to keep costs down and make a profit, or to satisfy customers who they sometimes grumble, have been unreasonably demanding. Now, fortunately, there are service companies. They have tried understanding how to please their customers even as they run productive and profitable operations. So often their services are made available through user friendly self service technologies, websites, and other applications. Now, even you as an individual customer, you might probably have a few favorite firms whose services you like to purchase. Now, have you in all these days at least once stopped to think about the way how they succeed in delivering service that meet and sometimes even exceed your expectations? Maybe one time that you have ordered any service, you might be very very happy. Have you ever thought what might be their strategy, or what might be their business plan in rendering such a good service? Have you ever? If not, the next time you are happy with a very good service, just give it time and think what are the things, or what is that your favorite firm does. So now if you see your slide, now this speaks about an introduction for service marketing. Now here if you see, we have the first question: why should we study services? Now there are few points which answer that questions. That is, first one is, undoubtedly in today's world of business, services dominate the global economy. Now most of the new jobs, they are generated by services. Now in this era of competition in business, understanding services always offers personal competitive advantage for the firm which renders this service. Now, speaking so much about service, what do we mean by service? Now, the first thing, or one of the way of explaining services are something which provides benefits without ownership, or services are economic activities which are performed by one party to another, often time based. These performances bring about desired results to recipients in exchange for money, time, and effort. Service customers expect value from access to labor skill, expertise, good facilities, networks, and systems. So, what is the service sector industries? Okay, now this particular diagram has been taken from one of the textbook. that has been published in US. So here they are speaking about US. Now, irrespective of that fact, this stands true for any of the economy in the world. Now, that service sector industry in that box, what they are speaking is um, in the order of each of the subset of the service sector of the economy of US, how is it contributing for the gross domestic product of their country. So in the order they of their contribution they have mentioned it that. Now, having spoken about the service, there we can speak about the categories of the service. Now, speaking about the categories of services, here we have people processing, that is passengers of transports, different kinds of transport, the air, the railways, roadways, and even the waterways or hair styling and such other thing. Now there are possession processing like freight transport, repair services. We have mental stimulus processing like education, and we have information processing like accounting. Now then they are speaking about service pose distinct market challenges, or what are the different challenges that are being posed by services in marketing. Now having said that, um, now challenges are always have to be overcome. So they're trying to tell how is that all these challenges could be overcome. And they have done it in point of 3, that is function, service profit chain, and putting service strategy into action. So this is um, a little small introduction for service marketing. Now, uh, we said that service industries are the ones which is growing at a very, very, very fast rate. Now, if we observe, uh, we can see here that the size of the service sector is increasing in almost all countries around the world. Now, as and when every economy develops, the relative share of employment between agriculture, industry, and services change dramatically. Now, even in emerging economies, the service output represents at least half of gross domestic product. Now, look into the figure 1.4 that has been given in your PPT. Now, this particular diagram or this particular chart shows how economy becomes, how economy day by day is becoming increasingly service dominated over time as their per capita income is rising. So now in the beginning, now in your y-axis, they are speaking about share of employment. In your x-axis, you have time and per capita income. Now time starts from 0 and even per capita from 0 it has increased. Now your agriculture, when the time horizon was 0, the share of employment was the highest. Okay. And as the time moving along, now it is the service industry which is having highest time per capita income and also share of employment. So this particular diagram has been picked up from International Monetary Fund uh, information for the year 97, and from that point onwards it has been 25 years more. And also now there is the fact of digital communication in the service marketing. So you can imagine how much the services portion in the economy might have increased. Now, as we see one more figure, that is 1.5, it speaks about the service sector, how already it accounts for almost two-thirds of the value of the global GDP. Now, if you take the entire globe and if you see the gross domestic product, now 63% of the entire GDP comes from the services. 6% is from agriculture and 31% is from manufacturing service. So it is almost 60% of the entire global gross domestic product is from service sector. So that is how big service sector industry today stands. And this speaks, and this particular information has been taken from the world, fact book of 2015, that is Central Intelligence Agency, excuse me. Now, if you go through this figure, which has been displayed for the figure 1.6, it shows the relative size of the service sector in various large and small economies. Now, service, without telling, it accounts for 65% to 80% of the gross domestic product in most developed nations. Now, having said given all this information, one exception is South Korea. Now, South Korea is a manufacturing oriented country whose service sector contributes only 58% to the GDP. Now, having spoken about South Korea, you know, there is some other countries like Jersey, the Bahamas, and the Bermuda. Now, all the small islands with a similar economic mix are the home to world's most service-dominated economies. Where Luxembourg, it contributes 86%. I mean, the GDP of Luxembourg is such that 86% of the GDP is from service sector. Now it has the most service dominated economy in the Europe. Now Panama's strong showing 78% reflects not only the operation of the Panama Canal but also related service such as container ports, flagship registry, and a free port zone, as well as financial service, insurance, and tourism. Now, the port that you can see in figure 1.7 is of that of the Panama Canal. So, here you can see how much each country is having its share for each country has its share in its GDP from service sector. Even this particular information, it was taken for the year 2015. Now see into the slides. There you can see also about India also. For India it is 57% of the GDP comes from the service sector. Now, this data is for 2015, and in these 7 years, there are a lot of chances that there has been so much more increase in what data has been mentioned here. But then, having said all these things, now there is on the opposite end of the scale is China. Now, for China, only 46% of GDP, the entire GDP comes from service sector. Now, it is one of the emerging economy which is dominated by a substantial agriculture sector as well as booming manufacturing and construction industry. However, China's economic growth is now leading to an increase in demand for business and consumer service. Now, one more thing that we can tell is that nowadays, you know, uh, most new jobs. Now, most of the new jobs they are generated by service. This might be due to the rapid growth of service sector in what and this goes without telling that not only it is economic it is increasing in a face to face way, but also virtually in all countries around the world new job creation comes mainly from service. So service jobs do not just refer to relatively low paid frontline jobs. Rather, some of the faster economic growth is in knowledge based industries such as professional and business services, education and healthcare. So these well paid jobs require good educational qualification, and also it offers attractive careers. Okay. I guess we spoke a lot about the introduction of service and service domination in the global economy. So,